All right, folks, buckle up. Today's case is a showdown over financial fairness and fatherhood. A mother is demanding additional support for their 14-year-old son, even though the father is already covering tuition and health care. But here's the twist. She says that's still not enough. On the other side, the father is standing firm, arguing that he's already paying his fair share. Now, it's up to the judge to break down the numbers and decide what's both legally and morally right. Will the court rule in the mother's favor, or will the father walk away victorious? Stick around. This one is packed with shocking moments and courtroom drama you don't want to miss.
Judge Vanderbeek Court is now in session. Judge, this is the Ocean case.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay. Is it Miss or Mrs. Ocean?
Miss.
Miss Ocean, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
I need more money each month to pay for, his activities and food and clothing, his expenses as he's getting older.
Whose activities? Who's
Kevin's, our son.
Kevin? Okay, how old is Kevin?
He's 14.
14, okay. And you need more money? He's not giving you enough money?
No, he pays for tuition.
Let's break this down. $395 a month for tuition and $85 for health care. That's already a pretty hefty sum. But here's where it gets interesting. Child support isn't meant to cover everything in a child's life. It's about equitable responsibility. Now, the mother is arguing that since Kevin joined football and started guitar lessons, Dad should cover even more of the bill. But legally, extracurricular activities aren't always considered mandatory expenses in child support calculations. So, the big question for the court, are these activities a necessity or just a nice-to-have? What do you guys think? Should parents be forced to pay for hobbies? Or is this pushing it too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Wait a minute. He pays for tuition? If I remember correctly about tuition, it's kind of expensive. It's not anything that's cheap. So how much is he paying in tuition?
$395 a month.
$395 a month. And you say he pays what else?
For health care.
Health care? How much is health care?
It's $185 a month.
$185 plus $395. Okay, is there anything else you want me to know? What type of activities?
Well, he's joined the football team.
Football.
And then he plays guitar.
Guitar. Okay, and has he enrolled in those activities yet, or?
Yes.
Okay, and you're paying for those?
Yes.
And you want him to pay for them?
At least help, yes.
Okay, so there isn't anything else you want to tell me before I move to him?
No.
All right. Sir?
Yes.
You pay $395 in tuition.
That's correct.
And is it $185 in health insurance? Because what I see $85 in health insurance.
It's $185.
It's $185, okay. And then, what else?
There's guitar lessons, clothes. Whenever he stays with me, I pay for, all his activities and everything else too. So it starts to add up.
Okay.
As you can imagine.
And she wants you to pay for more than that?
Whoa, let's pause for a second. Did you catch that? The judge just laid out the numbers, and it turns out Dad is making $45,000 a year as a pool cleaner. That's not exactly a fortune, yet he's still covering tuition, health care, and other expenses. Meanwhile, Mom has a job too, so the big question is, why isn't she covering some of these extra costs? This is where child support cases get tricky. Just because one parent wants more money doesn't always mean the other parent is legally required to pay it. So what do you think? Is Dad already doing enough, or should he be pitching in more? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
That's correct.
I'm not understanding this, ma'am. The way that child support works is supposed to pay a certain percentage for the child, not for you to just get off scot-free and have him paying for everything. That's not how this works.
I understand, but as he's getting older, his expenses are getting more.
And I understand that. And what do you do for a living?
I'm an administrative assistant.
So you make money too, right?
Yes.
So it naturally follows that you should be covering some of these expenses as well, correct?
Yes.
All right, so I'm not going to have him be responsible for each one of those things individually because he's doing a lot already. And sir, where do you work?
I'm a pool cleaner.
Pool clean. How much do you make a year doing that?
About $45,000.
All right, yeah, that's not how this works. I mean, did a friend of yours tell you that you can come in here and get him to, run him through the slammer and have him pay everything? Did somebody tell you that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, were you thinking that on your own?
I just wanted more help paying for this.
All right, so I'm gonna need you to go ahead and pay for some of this on your own because I'm not going to make him responsible for everything. What I have here, sir, I'm not sure if your employer made a mistake on your documentation, but what you provided to the court for medical insurance, I have $85, not $185. So I only can give you credit for what's in front of me. If that's an error, you can come back at any time and get that fixed, but I have to go with what's in front of me. So based on $45,000 a year, I have your gross at $3,600. I have your net at $2,948.13, which would bring your child support amount to $589.63. However, considering that you do pay a lot for this child already, the Texas Family Code allows me to consider factors to deviate from what your child support amount should be. One of those factors being child care expenses. So what I'm going to do, instead of making you pay that $589.63,
The judge just made her call. Instead of ordering the full child support amount of $589.63, she's lowering it to $395 to make sure tuition is covered. This means Dad won't be on the hook for every little expense, but the child's education stays protected. It's a perfect example of how courts can deviate from standard child support formulas when it actually makes sense. What do you think? Did the judge get it right, or should Dad have been ordered to pay more? Sound off in the comments.
I'm going to make your child support $395 just to ensure that the child's tuition is covered every month. So that's your education. Your child's education is very important. So your child support is going to be based on that. So $395 a month.
So you're raising my child support?
No, your child support is going down. So it
Oh, okay.
it's
I'm not good at
technically-
math.
Yeah, no problem, no
I
problem.
was told there would be no math during this session. So.
And that's one, I thought that it would be the same thing when I went to law school. Somebody lied to me. I still have to do math. So instead of $589.63, your child support is going to be the $395 a month for the tuition that you would pay. And you, of course, will have to keep covering the health insurance. And if you choose to pay for football and guitar, that's up to you. But ma'am, you need to be responsible for something. So does anybody have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Any questions?
No, I appreciate it though.
No problem. Well, you don't even have to thank me. You can thank the legislator because they give us the option to do this for people. It's just the right thing to do. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Let's break it down. Mom wanted more money, but the court ruled that Dad is already pulling his weight. Instead of increasing child support, the judge ensured tuition was covered while leaving extracurriculars optional. This ruling highlights a key point. Courts don't just hand out extra money because someone asks. They look at financial responsibility on both sides. Now, here's where you come in. If you found this case as interesting as we did, hit that like button, drop a comment and let us know who you think was in the right. And if you love deep dives into real courtroom drama, subscribe for more hard-hitting legal breakdowns. Until next time, stay sharp and stay informed.